Welcome back to the Parenting Pod. Here with us is Elizabeth, who is the co-founder and chief operations officer at Trehaus School and writes in her parenting blog called Mother Cow. So Elizabeth, why not tell us a bit more about yourself?
Sure. My name is Elizabeth. I would call myself a multi-hyphenate. I'm an educator, have been an educator for 14 years. I'm an entrepreneur. And more importantly, my full-time role and job, it's close to my heart, is being a mom to my 3 children. My children are 11, 10, and 8 this year. Trehaus is my 4th baby since 2016 when we founded it. So before Trehaus, I was a stay-home mom. I actually left my teaching job when my youngest turned 1 year old and decided to stay home with them. Really the philosophy behind it or the motivation behind it was that I found myself wanting to teach my children. As a general paper lecturer and tutor in a JC, I found that a lot of kids in Singapore grow up not really desiring to be critical thinkers. And the last I wanted was for my children to not want to think critically or be creative. And I felt that preschooling years was the space and the time for me to do that. And so I took them out of childcare. I stayed home with them. We totally unschooled and had lots of fun. While I was home with them, there was this part of me that I felt I lost. I felt I lost my sanity. I could do more things. That's what I felt. So that was when my husband said, why don't you start a business? Why don't you think of, why don't you use your flexi timing hours to think of something that you like to do? I also started my blog at the same time. And people were writing and reaching out to me saying, hey, you know, you're sharing all these awesome things you're doing with your kids. If you ever started a play date, a play group, a school, an enrichment center, we will totally just kind of send our kids to you. That started my journey of writing curriculum, appealing to, of course, preschoolers all the way to primary schoolers, infusing critical thinking into what I wrote, teaching English, teaching all sorts of life skills in what I wrote. So I started an enrichment center along with some partners. Thereafter, I moved on and started Trehaus. The blog also was a form of, not exactly business, but in exchange for maybe an experience out, an event I would be writing. And and that was, I think, the start of entrepreneurship for me. And then Trehaus came along and I could totally shape it the way I wanted to for the integration of working parents and their families.
Was this entrepreneur spirit something that has always been with you since you are younger?
No. For sure, no. Yeah. But I think when kids came along, it changes a lot of things. When my kids came along, it kind of motivated me to explore, to go beyond my comfort zone, to really just try and see what can work. Extra income is always good. Opportunities for the children is always good. And most importantly, as a mom, as a human being, as a person raising children, I felt I need to grow. I can't be stagnant. And I mean, sure, a lot of stay-home moms also do. I mean, if they're happy staying home, you know, just that itself can be enriching. Yeah. And I was happy staying home, but I wanted to be more enriched in my personal growth because I felt that therein lies that power to impart to my children with outside real world experiences.
You mentioned that your husband is the one who suggested to you to start a business on your own.
Yeah, I think it was not one conversation, but it was like a lot of little talks, and it was him just suggesting possibilities. Like, now that you're no longer teaching, now that you're no longer bound by fixed number of hours, now that you have some spare time, say for example in the evenings when he comes back and you know he can kind of take over, is there something I want to explore doing? And these conversations just one led to another, and when opportunities came, there were like-minded people who wanted to do it together with you, then we just synergistically found something to do.
Then prior to your husband suggesting all these ideas or discussing with you, have you thought about starting your own business?
No. My husband was really the catalyst because he's been the one edging me and pushing me to just go try something new, go try something for yourself. I think he saw a part of me that was just desiring to be more than just a mom, and maybe he knew me better than I knew myself. Yeah, but prior to that, I never thought I would foray into starting businesses.
Hey parents, thank you for tuning in to our podcast. This was the Parenting Pod brought to you by For Love's Sake. For more content on parenthood, you can check out our Facebook and Instagram at forlovesake.sg. Thank you and see you next time.